Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stinchfield. We are keeping an eye on the Kennedy Center, where Melania is being premiered tonight. President Trump, I believe Melania, the First Lady, Melania Trump is there as well. We'll be keeping an eye on that. If President Trump enters, speaks to the media, we will come out live and take that for you. I want to turn now to Minneapolis, Minnesota. I am very concerned for the ICE agents there, not just because of these loony goon rioters that have taken to the streets and are attacking ICE agents at a rate that we have never seen before. But I am worried that confusion may be taking over as we try to de-escalate with these loony goons. So we are being told that the federal government will begin to draw down ICE agents in Minneapolis. This after Tom Homan has met with leaders in Minnesota, the Attorney General included, the Attorney General of Minnesota, as well as the mayor, saying they will turn over illegal alien criminals as they leave prisons and jails. That is a huge win for the Trump administration. With that, though, they say they will be drawing all of this down. Here's Tom Homan.
We can start drawing down those resources as far as those looking for public safety threats being released, and do it in the jail with much less people. So the drawdown is going to happen based on these agreements. But the drawdown can happen even more if the hateful rhetoric and the impediment and interference will stop. So Border Patrol, I was a Border Patrol agent. These men and women are patriots. God bless them. They're here to help us. And the drawdown will come soon, depending on when this actually, I see this in play.
So my biggest fear is that somehow the left will take this as some kind of victory. Now, the Daily Mail had obtained a memo that confirmed what we told you about first on this program earlier in the week, that a memo has now gone out to Border Patrol agents that reads, quote, "Do not engage with agitators," okay? What the standard is for when you have to engage, we are told if they attack ICE agents, they most certainly can. But the memo goes on to say, we can run the second one, you just had it up there, put it up, that this will be in targeted enforcement of aliens only, okay? And only aliens with criminal backgrounds. Now, all targets must have a criminal nexus, is what the memo says. That means that they are going to back off arresting illegal aliens that don't have a criminal background other than crossing into the country. To me, that is a step backwards because these lunatic Democrats are now going to take that as a victory. And here's where the confusion sets in. The memo appears to say one thing, but Tom Homan, the man I trust, says something else. Listen.
There is not going to be a focus on people who have no other crimes except for their status.
If you're in the country illegally, you're never off the table. But privatization doesn't mean but you forget about everybody. So let me say this. If the message we send is you can enter this country illegally, it's a crime, don't worry about it. You can have your due process, show up in court, not show up in court, get ordered removed, don't worry about it. Unless you commit a serious crime, you're good to go. If that's the message we send to the world, you're never going to fix this problem.
All right, so I agree. Then why the capitulation in the memo to agents saying we're going to back off arresting any illegal aliens that don't have a criminal nexus, as it's spelled out in the memo? All of this will allow us to move out of Minneapolis. If you start taking these prisoners from the prisons and jails that are here illegally, that is a very, very good thing. But this is what you're dealing with. A mayor that I don't think can be trusted, especially not with rhetoric like this. This is Jacob Fry.
It is less safe when chaos reigns supreme. It is less safe when families do not feel comfortable going to school or buying food at the grocery store because they're worried that their very family might get ripped apart. It is less safe when we have roving bands of agents marching down the street just looking for somebody who might be concerned. And I gotta tell you, everybody is concerned when you have that kind of occupation.
That is rhetoric designed to gin up the leftist loony bins. It is, because it's not based in fact or truth at all. So my warning to Tom Homan and the administration here is that people like Jacob Fry, people like Keith Ellison, the Attorney General, people like Tim Walz, the governor of, they cannot be trusted. They will tell you one thing, and we capitulate and say, all right, we're only going to arrest illegals with criminal records, or we're not going to engage with the agitators. They're not going to call off the dogs, not with, again, listen to this.
I made it very clear that Operation Metro Surge needs to end.
Did Tom Homan say he would end it?
He did not make a commitment to ending it on any given timeline. However, my hope, my expectation is that the troops and the agents we're seeing will be drawn down. My hope and my expectation is the conduct that has caused so much chaos on our streets will end. But again, I'll believe it when I see it.
No, I'll believe it when I see it. You see what they do with their projection? It's really quite unbelievable, stunning, in fact. So I want to bring in now another guy that I really trust, especially on issues like this. He is in Minneapolis for us. RAV correspondent Ben Berkwam back on the ground there. Ben, welcome to the program. Ben, did you hear me? Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you, Grant. It's great to be with you.
You're welcome. Ben, why don't you give me the straight scoop of what's happening there? Is there some confusion among agents? What Tom Homan's saying, the memos say something differently. Tell me what's going on the ground.
Well, look, just to Mayor Fry's point, the chaos, any chaos you see on the street is directly attributable to him and his rhetoric and what he said and inciting, dog whistling all of these radical leftist communist jihadists against American patriots in Border Patrol and ICE. That's why we're seeing this. That is why Alex Preddy died. That is why Renee Good died. It's because they chose to go out and obstruct ICE, get in their way to try to stop them from deporting illegal aliens that Joe Biden and the Democrats allowed in. When it comes to the agents want to do their job. They are thankful they have President Trump. I talk to them every single day. You compare the last 4 years of Biden, and they were miserable. All they want to be able to do is do their job. Some of them, I was asking several of them, this is actually kind of what was intended to happen anyways. On all of these surges, there was a start date and an end date. And so what we saw when it first kicked off in Chicago, when I was there with Tom Homan, just over a year ago, it's crazy to think that was the surge in Chicago. And then we moved across the country, hit Minneapolis, hit Portland, hit Los Angeles, did Charlotte, did New Orleans, and all of these places, Boston, all these places where they've surged resources. And then eventually they moved those resources.
Let me cut you off just momentarily, only because the big man himself, the President of the United States, is coming out. I believe this is as he's going in to view Melania Tonight, the movie. I don't think he's speaking. Let's take a listen in. If we can hear him, great. If not, we'll continue our conversation, Ben.
Mr. President, here while they wait. Mr. President, right here. And just once we're here, Mr. President. Thank you, sir.
Up top over here, Melania, take your left.
Don't go too far. We need that too shot.
And one more.
And Melania. Melania, right here. This way.
May we bring you two together again?
Yes.
And together.
All right, so it appears they're just taking pictures. Why don't we do this? We'll leave them on the screen. Ben and I will continue our conversation. Mr. Producer behind the glass, if they start taking questions, I'll just cut Ben off and we'll go out to President Trump taking questions. Ben, let me ask you this. My big concern is for the agents, because I know these guys are great soldiers. But when I see a memo goes out that says you can't engage with agitators, what is the standard there? I mean, if they hit you over the back with a flagpole, you better be able to engage with agitators.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question, what's going to happen to these leaders? What accountability is coming to these organizers, these terrorists? They're domestic terrorists. Last I knew we didn't negotiate with terrorists as a nation. That's what's happening right now. These are terrorist organizations, radical communists, leftist, anarcho-communists, whatever you want to call them, jihadist terrorists that are destroying our country from within. And that's the question, what's going to happen? Now, his answer was a little bit coy. He said, we're working on that, don't want to give away our hand, but they're going to be held accountable. And so I believe, look, Tom Homan is a guy I have more respect for than just about anybody in the world. Yeah. And so I believe him when he says that. But you're right, if the left is able to take a victory lap around this, it's not a good thing. If these Antifa terrorists are allowed to behave this way and ICE and Border Patrol are told to stand down, every single time they come out with whistles and are getting in ICE's way, every one of those people should be arrested. If that is true, if ICE or Border Patrol is not allowed to engage with them, that is very bad.
I think we can't really. Let me just dip in and hear. It looks like President Trump is talking. Sorry, Ben. Let's dip in and listen. Cut full to the president.
To make this documentary. Well, my life, it's... A
couple of days with Senator Schumer. We've gotten along very well. We're working on trying to get it to stay open, and we'll see what happens. It's in the process.
Mr. President, Amazon paid $75 million to make and market this film. It's an exorbitant fee. Many Americans think that this is maybe Jeff Bezos trying to get in good with you, and they would call it an act of corporate corruption. The New York Times.
The New York Times is fake news. New York Times. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know really. I'm not involved in that. That was done with my wife. I think it's going to be. I think it's a very important movie. I think it's really going to be very important. It shows life in the White House. It's a big deal, actually.
Mr. President, what was Tulsi Gabbard doing at an election center in Georgia today?
She's working very hard on trying to keep the election safe, and she's done a very good job. And they, as you know, they got into the votes. You got a signed judge's order in Georgia, and you're going to see some interesting things happening. They've been trying to get there for a long time.
Will you be pulling back immigration enforcement agents out of Minnesota?
We want to keep our country safe. We'll do whatever we can to keep our country safe.
So you're not pulling back?
No, not at all.
Sir, Mr. President, what are your expectations for the box office?
American News. Nice to see you, sir. Nice to see you. Tonight is about the First Lady. Yeah. No offense to you. I'm not going to ask political questions. I'm going to talk about this amazing woman and this amazing film. We're going to see you two interact like never before, I heard from the director and producer.
I think so. You are going to see that. I'm not sure I'm thrilled with that. That's all right. Now it's very good. I got to see it for the first time the other night. It's really good. Glamorous, very glamorous. We need some glamour.
We do.
In the country. So.
Well, you're bringing that back. What do you want the country to know about your amazing wife, our amazing First Lady, that 99% of this fake news never tells the country or the world?
Well, she's a very serious person, very brilliant person, actually, and speaks many languages, but that's the least of it. She's doing a great job. She's very popular. The people of the country really love her.
Brett and John told me that she's very influential, more than most folks might think, because she's so private and reserved. How true is that? How much are you talking to the First Lady when it comes to policy and things? Not about Barron and family, but about the country.
Great influence. She's really a historian in true sense. She knows a lot about the history of a lot of different countries, especially this one. And she's very influential. She's somebody that I count on. You know, I speak to a lot of people, and I listen to some, and I don't listen to others, but she's very influential. You'll see that tonight. I think you're going to see that tonight.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate it.
No, I'm in the movie.
Mr. President, a lot has happened.
That sounded like fake news, didn't it? No, you're not in the movie.
Probably the New York Times.
He's in the movie, guys.
How do you think January 2026?
They got the election wrong, the New York Times, you know?
They get a lot wrong in the New York Times, Mr. President.
They got a lot wrong, but they got the election wrong. They haven't apologized yet.
What day will you be announcing your Fed chair pick next week?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Oh.
And do you know who you pick?
Tomorrow I do. Otherwise, I'll have to go to work very quickly. No, I'll be announcing the Fed chair tomorrow morning.
Mr. President, a lot has happened this month. How do you think January 2026 is going to factor into your legacy?
I think that the legacy is very strong right now. We have the safest country we've had, the strongest military. We're doing better than we've ever done before. I think it's going to be a great legacy.
I would love to talk to the First Lady. It's her night. Can we do that? Guys, can we give politics a break for a second and talk to Melania since it's her night?
Great friend of ours, honey.
How are you?
Hi, nice to see you, Melania. Let's talk about this film. I'm just talking about Brett. Mark.
Well, I'm looking at the whole thing, but you know, I have a great feeling.
In this film, we're going to learn a heck of a lot more about
both of them very much.
You've been so private.
It looks to me like one is very much of a monopoly if they're able to do this deal. So we'll see how it all works.
Mr. President, historic night.
What do you think they will be feeling?
I think they're going to see a glamour that they haven't seen before, and I think our country needs glamour. You understand glamour better than most, but they can understand glamour. A lot about the beauty and the pageantry and things that we haven't seen in a long time.
Mr. President, most folks don't think that the president actually
What is next for you to be solving? Does President Putin
a lot more than most.
Well, we're going to see. I think we're going to have peace.
You weigh in on that a little bit?
We're going to get the peace done.
Well, I give you
Mr. President, do you believe you'd be the man you are today if you hadn't met your wife?
That's an interesting question. I better be very careful with that. It's a very dangerous. He's asking me a very dangerous question. I think she's really been a great help. She's done a great job. Very respected, very smart, very measured, very measured. Sometimes when I'm not so measured, she measures you, but no, she's done a great job and very, very influential in terms of the administration. Yes.
And Mr. President, with
he's asking me very dangerous questions.
I asked your husband if he would be the man he is today if he had never met you. What do you think?
Well, we will all be in different places, I guess. Right?
We do like the way it worked out.
Correct.
And Mrs. Trump, what do you want Americans to learn about the first family and yourself from this film?
Went very well. I wanted to know a little bit more about the details of that conversation.
Well, it was not much of a conversation other than he said he'd love to see peace, but I want to see peace, I think, maybe more than anyone. We've done a great job. We've closed the border. We've stopped crime. Crime's at an all-time low in the history of our country, and that's only because we're taking criminals out. We're taking some very bad people out of our country. But I want to see that also.
And Mr. President, what do you say to those that are critical of the fact that Amazon paid $40 million to acquire the rights of this movie?
Well, I think they'd have to go and ask President Obama, who got paid a lot of money and hasn't done anything. So I think they probably have to go because if you take a look at others, they've been paid a lot of money. But this is somebody, Melania, who really produced it. She's done a great thing. This is a very important piece of work.
And what do you hope people learn about your wife after seeing this film?
Well, I think they knew she was smart, but perhaps maybe they'll get to see something that elevates above just the word smart. She's got a lot of high quality.
And you have an entertainment background yourself, creating several hit shows.
Yeah.
Did you have any sort of creative input on this film? Did you watch any of the screeners in advance?
I really had none. I saw it for the first time 2 nights ago. I loved it. I thought it was really great. But it really brings back a glamour that you just don't see anymore. And our country can use a little bit of that, right? You would know that, right?
Well, you want to tell me a little bit more about the split off on the Department of Homeland Security on the avoiding a shutdown?
Well, I think what you're going to see is you will know by the time this movie's over what's going to happen. And I'll be naming the Fed tomorrow morning. I've chosen a very good person to head the Fed. I'll be putting that out tomorrow morning.
Are there any details you could share about the extension through September?
For myself,
Mr. President, what is your message to the tens of millions of Trump voters on this film about the First Lady?
That she's a very smart person, very influential person, and she cares about the country, loves the country, just like Breitbart does, actually. And she's done a great job. Very popular.
Mr. President, and there's also been some leftist outlets already pushing negative coverage around this film before it's even come out. What do you say to that, and what can Megyn do to come down?
Well, that's standard with these people, and they like to do it. They lost an election in a landslide. They do whatever they can. But we have a safe country. We have a rich country. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars of tariff money. We've never been in a position like this. We're strong. We're financially powerful. We're militarily powerful. I built the military in my first term, and now we have a group headed out to a place called Iran, and hopefully we won't have to use it.
And lastly, Mr. President, today was your 10th cabinet meeting. Over the course of 4 years, Joe Biden only held 9 cabinet meetings. What does that say about the transparency of your administration versus the last administration?
And I had cameras in my cabinet meetings, all of them, just about all of them. And so it's very transparent. There's never been an administration so transparent as this. We had a good cabinet meeting today. We talked about the economy. The economy is through the roof. Prices are way down. Gasoline $1.99 a gallon. It was was $4 a gallon just a year and a half ago. So a lot of great things are happening, as you know.
Absolutely. And people are going to start seeing some relief with their tax returns.
I think so. The great big beautiful bill just kicked in, and you're going to see some tremendous numbers. We have prices are down all throughout. They like to talk about affordability. It was just a term that they made because, but they're the ones that caused the problem. We inherited a mess, and the prices are way down. We inherited an open border with millions of people coming in, and the problems that you have, the big problems that you have. Millions of criminals were allowed into our country through an open border, and we're getting them out. We're getting them out fast. They just announced today crime in this country is at an all-time low, and that was done by Democrats. They said that the Democrats just released crime in this country at an all-time low. Thank you, and you guys are great.
And could I ask one quick Madam First Lady, Ms. Overton, Breitbart News. I'm doing very good. How are you? What is something you hope that
this is Hollywood.
Is that their feed breaking up or mine?
I don't know anything about it. Depends. What will she pay? That is a good man, right?
What would you say are one or two of your favorite scenes from the documentaries?
I just think the overall feel of it, it's such a beautiful piece. It's really, the cinematography is beautiful, the whole thing. I think you're going to like it. I mean, people really like it. It's very different. I would think these are very hard times for movies, frankly, with since COVID. Since COVID, it's been very hard, but people really like it. I can see this being very successful over a period of time. It's also very much a history of the White House. It's a history. It's a modern-day history of the White House.
Do you think you'll want to do a movie now, Elvis?
I don't know about that. I'll find out.
How does your legacy differ from the First Lady?
Say it?
How does your legacy differ from the First Lady to the First Lady?
Well, they're intertwined. We've had a good life. We've done a good job. Crime at an all-time low. The economy at an all-time high. We've never taken in. We've taken in $18 trillion. Taken in $18 trillion. Biden, as an example, last administration, less than $1 trillion in 4 years. We've taken in $18 trillion in 1 year. It's actually more than that. So I mean, it's been an amazing run. We're having a good time. What happened on the border? We have a closed border. We used to have an open border. Millions of people pouring in. A lot of criminals at the highest level, including 11,888 murderers. We don't want to have murderers in our country. I got them, a lot of them out. We're going to get the rest of them out. But to have a country, you have to have a safe country.
When might we see ice in Springfield, Ohio? When might we see ice in Springfield, Ohio?
Well, we're going to see what's happening. Springfield is not a happy place with what they did. Springfield, I love Springfield, Ohio. I won Springfield, Ohio, but during the Biden administration, they did great damage to Springfield.
Mr. President, what was it like seeing the documentary for the first time, and what did you learn? Did you learn something new about your wife?
Well, I don't think so, but I learned she's, it's a confirmation more than anything else. Very smart woman, a woman with influence, a woman who understands our country, comes from another part of the world, but understands this country very well, understands the world very well. So you're going to see somebody that maybe you didn't know, but I think most people understand this is a very smart woman with influence.
What was it like having Nicki Minaj?
Why would audiences see this film, even Democrats who might not support you, and do you expect it to be a big hit?
Well, I think you'll learn about the White House, you'll learn about government, you'll learn about First Lady, a little bit about me, not so much about me. You know me pretty much, I'm an open book. But you'll learn things that are very interesting, and it's a beautifully shot movie. You see the most beautiful scenes. There's a great glamour to this. I was saying when I left, because I saw it 3 days ago for the first time, there's a great glamour, beautiful glamour, and you learn it's about the White House, it's about our country, and we need a little glamour. I like glamour.
What was it like having Nicki Minaj in the Oval Office?
Nicki Minaj is fantastic. She's a terrific person. She was so nice, and she understands, what we're doing with the Trump accounts. We're helping children grow up. When they're 18 years old, they're going to have a lot of money. They're going to be rich. and she got it. But she's been a supporter from the beginning, and I think Nicki Minaj is a winner. She's
Can you talk
fantastic.
about how the First Lady's been more outspoken this term, especially about like...
She is. I noticed that myself. She is a little bit more outspoken, I think. Maybe that comes with time. But she's done a great job. She's a very popular, very respected First Lady. Thank you. Who are you with?
Fox News Digital. What can Americans learn about the president?
Hey, I wanted to ask you, what is your family's reaction to the First Lady's film?
I think great. I mean, Dawn is here tonight, and the others are seeing it tomorrow or the next day. But very good. It's been very good.
The First Lady's father is here as well. I've heard that Barron Trump is actually in town as well.
Barron saw it 2 nights ago with us. He loved it. Barron loved it. Barron is he thought it was great. I will say.
Mr. President, what makes you proud of Madame First Lady for showing the story?
Well, I am proud of her. I mean, she's done a great job. A thing like this is not easy. And, you know, she comes from a faraway country, a wonderful country, clean, beautiful, safe. They don't have problems like others have. But she comes from a country that's a very safe country, very good country in many ways. But it's different, and she's picked it up very easily. Speaks a lot of languages, very smart, understands what's happening, and really is a good influencer of me. Thank you.
Mr. President, you have a TV and film background. Did you have any input or any say on the creative direction? Yeah, on this one.
I would say, yeah, I mean, other than the fact that I'm in it, I'm sort of in it, but I would say that basically this was her baby, and it's her views, it's her feel, and she's done a great job. I think you're going to really like it. You're going to love this movie. This is a really good movie. It's a beautiful movie. It's a documentary of sorts, but it explains the White House. You'll see the great beauty of the White House, the glamour of the White House, the fix-up. You know, I'm fixing the White House. I do that instinctively. I fix the White House, and it's in a much better shape than it ever was. It's in, I mean, Doug can tell you, he wins the Pulitzer Prize every week, but Doug, that's a different building right now than it was a year ago, right? It's a beautiful, clean building that things are being repaired. I love doing it. I do it second nature. That's why I was good at real estate. So.
And you had mentioned earlier that I'm with the Daily Mail.
Good.
Yeah, and you had mentioned earlier that Melania's been a little bit more outspoken this time around. Would you like to see more of that?
Well, somebody asked me the question. I think so. Yeah, I think she's got stronger opinions now. Probably she's seen. You know, it's experience. It comes with experience. She's got stronger opinions. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're a very business mindset person.
Business oriented.
Oriented, thank you. And I wanted to ask, how is the First Lady also?
Good.
We're going to see a little bit of that.
You're going to see it tonight.
Yeah.
She's got a good business, had a great fashion head.
Yes.
She was friends with everybody until I ran for office. The fashion industry loved her more than anybody, and then I ran for office, and she didn't care, but the fashion industry really loved her. And once I announced I'm running as a Republican, they didn't like, but now they're all coming to me and asking for help. And we give them help.
Well, maybe the First Lady could also comment on this as well, but a lot of those fashion magazines snubbed you during the first administration as well as now. What is your message to them, and what is something that you want people to take away from this film?
Here in this film, they will see a lot of emotion, fashion, grief, sadness, celebration, love. So that's the message for the viewers.
Mr. President,
It's been, you know, she's been very well received in terms of this. This is something special. I mean, I think you're going to love it. A lot of you aren't allowed to say what you think because, you know, your editors don't want you to do it, or the owners, but a lot of people do. I think you're going to really love it. Yeah.
Movie theaters are such a beautiful place for community and connectivity. Why do you think it's important that a film like this does release in theaters all over the country?
Well, it's nice that she did that because personally, I think it's a very tough business. The theaters selling tickets after COVID, and you know, you look at it and you say, so I think this will be unbelievable, streaming and everything. Theaters are in a different world now. I study financial pages very closely. I look at theaters and the theater business and everything, and it's pretty much of a different world. But she wanted to get it out so people could see it. But I see this as, in terms of streaming and everything, I think you're going to love it. The glamour, the beauty, the whole thing, it's going to be something that, I don't want to say especially women, but I think maybe especially women. They're going to love this movie.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very
Can you
much.
talk a little bit about your inspiration for focusing on the 20 days before inauguration?
Well, it was my life, so people will see it, transitioning from the private citizen to being a first lady again. The schedule was very intense. They followed me from morning till evening, and you will see what I have to do and what I did, from planning the inauguration to running my business, philanthropy, taking care of the family, moving to the White House, meeting with security detail, establishing the East Wing, and hiring the people that they need to work for me, but also they work for the American people. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What's the main message of the movie?
Foxy's Digital, sir.
We like it. Who are you with?
Daily Caller.
That's a good place.
Yes.
They treat me good most of the time. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Are you trying to choke off Cuba?
Say it.
Are you trying to choke off Cuba?
I don't know. The word choke off is awfully tough. Cuba is a failing nation, and you have to feel badly for Cuba. They've treated people very badly. We have a lot of Cuban Americans who really were treated very badly, and they'd probably like to go back. And no, I'm not trying to, but it looks like it's something that's just not going to be able to survive. I think Cuba will not be able to survive.
What's your opinion about the UK getting involved with
Thank you for your
China?
note very much.
Thank you. As you were thinking about Fed share, what were the characteristics that you were looking for in the end? And
Well, I'll be announcing that tomorrow morning.
what exactly tipped that person over the edge?
I'd rather say it tomorrow, but just an outstanding person, and a person that won't be too surprising to people. A lot of people think that this is somebody that could have been there a few years ago. It's going to be somebody that is very respected, somebody that's known to everybody in the financial world, and I think it's going to be a very good choice. I hope so.
So someone who was
good
on
for-
your short list, sir?
On my reasonably short list, yeah.
Mr. President, about the Fed.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, what do you think about the UK getting into business with China? Keir Starmer was in Beijing.
Well, it's very dangerous for them to do that, and it's even more dangerous, I think, for Canada to get into business with China. Canada's not doing well. They're doing very poorly. And you can't look at China as the answer. I know China very well. I know President Xi's a friend of mine. I know him very well. But that's a big hurdle to go over when you get Canada. The first thing they're going to do is say you're not allowed to play ice hockey anymore. That's not good. Canada's not going to like that.
President, the Fed yesterday voted 10-2 to pause interest rates. Do you think the problem with the Fed is more than just Jerome Powell?
Well, you have other political people on the Fed. Absolutely. You have political people that will vote against Republican, but in particular Trump. But we've done so well with the economy. You see the numbers. We're getting the best numbers that we've ever had as a country, and that's despite the fighting. We've broken the Fed wall. I mean, they could have been much better. It could have been much more helpful to the country. But even despite the little bit higher interest rates, you notice that the interest rates now are falling despite the Fed. But I'm going to be announcing, I think, a really great choice tomorrow. I'm very excited about it, and I'll be announcing it tomorrow morning.
For all those Fed governors who wanted to pause interest rates, do you think they'll have their mind changed when there's a new Fed chairman on board?
I do. Yeah,
Why do you think that, sir?
Well, that's just the way it's been. And if they respect the Fed chairman, they don't respect this Fed chairman. If they respect the Fed chairman, they'll be with us all the way. They want to see the country be great. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, have you had any conversations with Iran in the last few days, and are you planning on any?
I have had, and I am planning on it, yeah. We have a lot of very big, very powerful ships sailing to Iran right now, and it would be great if we didn't have to use them. Okay?
Can you say what the message was that you shared with Iranians?
Well, I told them two things. Number one, no nuclear, and number two, stop killing protesters. They're killing them by the thousands. You know, I stopped 837 hangings 2 weeks ago, but They're going to have to do something. Nobody's seen anything like this.
Mr. President, Mr. Homan, I'm sure you caught his remarks earlier today that he made in Minneapolis. Are you pleased with the job that he's doing? Do you feel that this change that you made, this personnel change, is an important one in terms of calming things down?
Well, I think he's terrific, but we have to get rid of the criminals. We have to take criminals out of our country. So from that standpoint, nothing's going to change. And we have to find out all of the fraud that's taken place in Minnesota. We have to get to it. They've stolen at least $19 billion, and we're going to find out who did it and where the money is. Thank you very much.
Mayor Fry to Minneapolis.
Well, I'll tell you what, for all those who criticize President Trump for not taking questions at his cabinet meeting today, this is probably why he didn't take questions. He was readily available to everybody, making some news tonight right here on Stinchfield. President Trump says he will announce his Fed chair tomorrow. That is very big news. He said by the end of the movie screening tonight, we may know what is happening with the government shutdown and this budget fight that is going on in the United States Senate by the end of the movie. I take the president at his word that maybe they are working now overtime to make that happen. He says he's not going to let up in Minnesota. We've been talking about some of the mixed messages coming out of Minnesota with the memos to have agents stand down in certain cases, but President Trump says we're not letting up there. I want to bring in, right after the break, Florida Republican Congressman Randy Fine has been so gracious to watch the president with us, and we'll bring him back to respond to some of what President Trump said and talk about the shutdown and, of course, Minnesota as well. Stick with me.
The radical left knows exactly what they're doing. They want to steal the election. We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, and we're going to the Capitol. They need to take back our country.
Events in Washington have taken a violent and tumultuous turn.
January 6th wasn't just a moment in history. For thousands of Americans, it was the moment their voices were taken.
It's insurrection.
They were persecuted, hunted.
Seditious conspiracy.
But behind prison walls, something unexpected happened. They found their voice again.
Started singing the national anthem.
We took it up to him at Mar-a-Lago. He goes, I'll put my voice on it.
Our supporters made this go platinum.
Real America's Voice is telling the real story of January 6th like you've never seen it before.
Everybody, this must be peaceful.
This is not the story you were shown.
I take responsibility.
This is the story they live.
Government entrapment scheme that this actually was.
The J6 Patriots are no longer staying silent. They are speaking, they are standing, and they are telling the truth.
You can't kill us. You can't beat us.
Scan the QR code or visit RealAmericasVoice.com. Real America's Voice presents The Sleeping Giant. Available now. Welcome to Real America's Voice Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with your Real America's Voice Real Minute. Did you ever wonder what truly happened in the COVID-19 pandemic and whether Anthony Fauci would ever be held accountable? I think we all have. Filmmaker Jenner First has an upcoming documentary that searches for truth, transparency, and accountability called Thank You, Dr. Fauci.
Governments lie.
Anthony Fauci put everyone on the planet at risk without their consent.
It's beyond suspicious.
Research caused a pandemic, killed 20 million, and cost $25 trillion. Fauci would prefer a lie.
Public trust national health, and global security are at stake as this documentary digs through thousands of pages of documents and interviews with former officials.
Welcome back, everyone. So in my mind, we just got a treat because we got to hear from Melania Trump, the First Lady, talking about her new movie that's coming out in the Kennedy Center, and President Trump really breaking some news. Tomorrow, he's going to announce his Fed chair pick. I can't wait to have Jerome Powell out of here. As for this budget showdown, that is all based over ICE. And let me tell you something. It is a phony argument from the Democrats. President Trump says we could have a solution. We'll know by the end of the screening. If that's true, we shall see. I want to bring in to discuss this Florida Republican congressman. He was nice enough to hang around. Congressman Randy Fine is with us. Congressman, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
I don't know if you're like me, but it's kind of interesting watching the president in that setting and hearing all the questions the reporters are asking.
You know, he's incredibly patient, and it's extraordinary. I think the media forgets that Biden, hid behind everything because he was brain damaged, and Trump is just so accessible. He's probably answered more questions in a year than any other president's answered in their entire term.
You know, it's quite amazing. Now, he said that we may have or know what is going to happen with the budget shutdown by the time the movie is done screening. Do you have any indications that there are negotiations ongoing right now, that the two sides are talking in the Senate?
Well, the president and the Democrats have come up with a plan. It's to pass 5 of the 6 bills that we sent them and then do a continuing resolution on the Department of Homeland Security. I think the question is they need all 100 senators to agree to this. And I think some of the Republican senators justifiably see things in those bills they don't like. So we'll have to see what happens and then what happens when it comes back to us. The one thing Americans should know is there is going to be a government shutdown. This will not be resolved by midnight on Saturday, and Democrats will again shut down the government because of their fetish with illegal immigrants. Last year, it was to try to give them health insurance. This year is to stop us from deporting, including the worst of the worst. So Americans need to keep that in mind in November. The Democratic Party does not care about Americans. Their focus is illegal immigrants.
Yeah. One of the things that you're trying to do is protect these ICE agents out on the line. Let me read from you this bill that you have offered up here. If we could put that on the screen and then get you to comment on this. It says any person who knowingly impedes or interferes with an officer enforcing the immigration laws shall be fined, imprisoned, not more than 5 years or both. I like the sound of this. What made you come up with this? And I'm surprised it hadn't been offered up earlier.
Well, it's extraordinary to me the way these animals, frankly, behave with law enforcement. You know, neither of the people who ended up getting killed would have been killed if they'd been arrested long before that for some of their behavior. We just saw the video of this supposed nurse who was kicking a car and spitting on an ICE agent. This stuff should simply not be allowed. So my ICE Act says, and you're showing the video right now, my ICE Act says if you impede federal ICE agents while they are in pursuit of their duties, you're going to jail. And that, frankly, should be common sense. They should be left alone because all they're trying to do is find illegal immigrants, people who invaded our country, were told to leave, and have refused. And that shouldn't be something anyone has issues with. If you do, you should go to jail.
Look, I think that the Trump administration, in some respects, should be applauded for this attempt to de-escalate now in Minnesota. They're obviously trying to take the high road. I know you were listening in when I was talking with Ben Berkwin before the president came on. I am concerned about some of the confusion, putting ICE agents in a bad spot with these memos that say, hey, you can't engage with agitators. These agitators will run you over with a car. They will hit you with flagpoles and Lord knows what else. Are you concerned about that this is only going to create maybe some confusion for them out in the field?
No, I think what they're basically saying is ignore them when they talk to you. I mean, I noticed that some of the agents choose to talk back to these people. Basically, what they ought to do is do their jobs, and if these people get in the way, they should be arrested. I mean, that will solve the problem. The question again remains, why did this pretty guy, why was he able to behave the way he was without being arrested? We need to arrest these people faster so it doesn't escalate to the point at which someone gets shot. And hopefully that is part of what's going to happen here moving forward. I certainly know I'd like my ICE Act to become part of whatever it is that we negotiate moving forward.
Well, it should be. We were just watching the video of Alex Preddy there doing exactly what you said you should be arrested for. He spit on ICE agents. And, I can't help but think if they would have arrested him right there, he'd be alive today, albeit facing criminal charges, but he would be alive, Congressman.
He would. And second, when bad behavior has no consequences, not only does the bad behavior continue, it gets worse. So this guy saw, hey, I can spit on an ICE agent. Hey, I can kick their car and break their taillight and nothing happened to me. Hey, maybe I can rush in and attack them. And look what, and then he gets shot. So, I mean, by not cracking down early, we end up with escalating negative behavior. The same thing happened with the other woman who was shot. She was doing all kinds of things to interfere with their law enforcement duties. So it got worse and it got worse, it got worse. And then she tried to run the guy over and got shot. We need to say there's no tolerance. Stay out of their way.
Yeah. It's a common sense approach when it comes to law and order, but it seems like there's only one party that is for law and order, and the other party certainly isn't. They encourage, engage, and embolden these lunatics on their side to do this to ICE agents. Congressman Fine, I wish you luck on this proposal you're offering up. Anything we can do to help you, we're happy to do that. And you're going to have a busy week ahead of you because this budget showdown is not over anytime soon, sir.
No, but we'll keep fighting. The fact of the matter is we need to remind Americans we care about Americans. Democrats care about illegal immigrants. Choose wisely.
That is the message. You can find Randy Fine on social media at Rep Fine, F-I-N-E. My friend, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and thanks for being patient with us as well. Listen up, everybody. Patriot Mobile isn't just a wireless provider. They're an activist organization funded by selling top-tier cell phone service. They're activists in a good way, conservative activists. They've been on the front lines defending our freedoms long before it was cool, standing in the gap when others wouldn't. The best part is they deliver prioritized premium service on all three major U.S. networks, giving you the same or even better coverage, backed by 100% U.S.-based customer support. Get unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, and more. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes. Keep your phone number. Upgrade. You get a new phone, whatever you need. Take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. Use the promo code RAV for a free month of service. Oh, and up next, the great Alex Stein, 99, has a new show coming to Real America's Voice. My buddy is going to come home to Real America's Voice. We'll talk to him next.
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite.
The radical left knows exactly what they're doing. They want to steal the election. We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, and we're going to the Capitol. They need to take back our country.
Events in Washington have taken a violent and tumultuous turn.
January January 6th wasn't just a moment in history. For thousands of Americans, it was the moment their voices were taken.
It's insurrection.
They were persecuted, hunted.
Seditious conspiracy.
But behind prison walls, something unexpected happened. They found their voice again.
Started singing the national anthem.
We took it up to him at Mar-a-Lago. He goes, I'll put my voice on it.
Our supporters made this go platinum.
Real America's Voice is telling the real story of January 6th like you've never seen it before.
Everybody, this must be peaceful.
This is not the story you were shown.
I take responsibility.
This is the story they live.
Government entrapment scheme that this actually was.
The J6 Patriots are no longer staying silent. They are speaking, they are standing, and they are telling the truth.
You can't kill us. You can't beat us.
Scan the QR code or visit RealAmericasVoice.com. Real America's Voice presents The Sleeping Giant. Available now. Welcome to Real America's Voice Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with your Real America's Voice Real Minute. Did you ever wonder what truly happened in the COVID-19 pandemic and whether Anthony Fauci would ever be held accountable? I think we all have. Filmmaker Jenner First has an upcoming documentary that searches for truth, transparency, and accountability called Thank You, Dr. Fauci.
Governments lie.
Anthony Fauci put everyone on the planet at risk without their consent.
It's beyond suspicious.
Research caused a pandemic, killed 20 million, and cost $25 trillion. Fauci would prefer a lie.
Public trust, national health, and global security are at stake as this documentary digs through thousands of pages of documents and interviews with former officials.
I'll tell you what, folks, I am so excited about this. Basically, my neighbor, he doesn't live too far from me, is coming to Real America's Voice. He's going to have a show right here on this network. I'm talking about Alex Stein, Prime Time Stein 99. And the whole deal of Alex Stein was basically the tease we just played you. And this is what I think is so great about him. Roll it.
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
I want to do a little selfie.
I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look.
All right, so the reason I show you this is there's going to be members of Stinchfield's army that's going to say, that guy's crazy. And I'm going to tell you, that's exactly right. Have a sense of humor about it. I want to bring in now the newest member of the Rab family. Primetime Stein is here. Buddy, welcome.
Grant, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be a part of the Rab family, especially you, because, you know, I mean this, you know, you're like a mentor to me. You're such a successful guy. You've been doing this for a long time. I hope to one day get to your level, but you are bright and smart and very accurate that, you know, I do rub people the wrong way sometimes. And, you know, a lot of conservatives get mad at me because I have a nuanced political stance. I believe that I want amnesty for all big booty Latinas. If you're a 9, I believe you should be fine. If you're an 8, I don't know if we need a debate. If you're a 7, you know, you can get the hell out of here. But, you know, a lot of conservatives even get mad at that, Grant.
All right, so I'm going to promise you, Alex, there are some beautiful ladies watching this program that are probably falling out of their chairs right now. What do you want them to know about Primetime Stein?
Well, this is what I want them to know. And, you know, like you said, I am a little bit of a class clown, a lot of bit of a class clown. But I try to use humor and I try to use satire to make a bigger point. And whether it's, you know, catcalling AOC or going to a protest, you know, being empathetic to their cause by saying I want amnesty for big booty Latinas, I'm really just trying to make a point in a humorous way. And we've kind of gotten in this weird area now in the conservative movement where we're really divided. I mean, I would say that conservatives are attacking conservatives more than we're attacking the left. So I hope that my show can be a conduit to bring us together, Grant, because you and I are like-minded, but there's a lot of conservatives that, oh, Alex, you know, he acts a little wild. I don't think that we need to go with this kind of buttoned-up GOP all the time. We need to kind of be a little hip and fresh, and that's why you're so successful, Grant, because you are very hip and you are very fresh, my friend.
I will say this. Back when I was at the NRA many years ago, I said AOC was hot, and that she just hates us because she wants to date us long before I even knew about your shtick. So we are right there on the same page. Let me play another clip from you outside of a drag queen story hour to show you really what I want people to know is this is Stein exposing these people. Roll it.
See, this guy keeps on trying to bump me every time I walk by. Dude, I'm walking down the street.
I'm standing here. I'm allowed.
Let him go sideways. Get out of my...
All right, Alex, you need to leave.
I'm not leaving, guys. You're trying to get in my way. I'm here on a public street.
What do you have, like super strength? You just flip the guy over.
No, Grant, you see me. You're the strong one. Guys, if you don't know, Grant, you're doing a disservice to your audience by wearing that suit. Grant Stinchfield is probably the strongest guy in conservative media. I'm not even kidding. The guy's got biceps like Hulk Hogan. He dressed like Hulk Hogan. I thought he was Hulk for a second. But no, I think that guy is just so soy and has, no testosterone whatsoever. So it wasn't really about me. It was about him being such a she-male, I guess we'd call him.
Well, you know what's great? I won't say where your old show was, but it was the same time as this show. And so we could never go on each other's shows. And, now we don't have to compete with each other. Now we'll just make each other better. Alex Stein, you are the best. I'm so happy you're here, and it's great you're on.
No, Grant, you're the best. Thank you.
I got you. Let me tease the program. All right. So it's After Hours with Alex Stein. It will now air weekdays right here at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on RAV. After Hours with my man Prime Time. Oh, yeah. All right. Illegal aliens. Fear no more. Batman is here to fight on your behalf. Huh.
Exactly what they're doing. They want to steal the election. We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, and we're going to the Capitol. They need to take back our country.
Events in Washington have taken a violent and tumultuous turn.
January 6th wasn't just a moment in history. For thousands of Americans, it was the moment their voices were taken.
It's insurrection.
They were persecuted, hunted.
Seditious conspiracy.
But behind prison walls, something unexpected happened. They found their voice again.
Started singing the national anthem.
We took it up to him at Mar-a-Lago. He goes, I'll put my voice on it.
Our supporters made this go platinum.
Real America's Voice is telling the real story of January 6th like you've never seen it before.
Everybody, this must be peaceful.
This is not the story you were shown.
I take responsibility.
This is the story they live.
Government entrapment scheme that this actually was.
The J6 Patriots are no longer staying silent. They are speaking, they are standing, and they are telling the truth.
You can't kill us. You can't beat us.
Scan the QR code or visit RealAmericasVoice.com. Real America's Voice presents The Sleeping Giant. Available now. Through every storm, every moment of uncertainty,
everybody needs to pray for Charlie Kirk right now.
RAV has stood strong.
We're not going to tolerate this stuff anymore.
Turn that anger into motivation to save this nation.
When we move together, there is power.
The cries of this widow will echo like a battle cry.
This is more than news. It's a movement.
This revolution of people taking their countries back.
A turning point. A chance to be part of something greater than yourself. Scan the QR code and stand with RAV. The story isn't over, and neither is your part in it. Step in, be counted, be heard. Together, we are RAV.
we will achieve American greatness. And we are just getting started.
All right, folks, I told you these loony goons are really out of control. Sometimes I don't even get what they're getting at, but Batman is here now to help illegal aliens.
4 more people die. Yes, more people die. I don't think I need to go into how many people have been shot, how many people have been taken, how many children have been abducted and used as bait. I don't need to tell you that. You see it on the TV every single day. I don't want you to sit back and watch. I want you to do something.
So that's another example of primetime Stein in action. That's what you'll get on After Hours. That looks like one of his stunts. Is that real, or is that a conservative actually just calling out the left? I don't know. If they mean that and they're real about it, that's ridiculous. If it's a joke, it's kind of funny. My apologies to anybody that was offended by Alex Stein. You're going to hate his program at 11 o'clock on Wrath. But if you love being offended by stuff like that, you're going to love it. And I know I'll be tuning in. Lord knows I like to be offended every now and then. That's going to do it for us, folks. Thanks so much for watching.